Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to another trade recap. And today I actually went break even on GU. A silly mistake is kind of what led me to not making any money. I should have hit my first take profit. I wouldn't have hit my second take profit, although price did end up actually taking out my final take profit. I wouldn't have had it taken out at all in my trade. I would have been stopped out before then. But yeah, we'll get straight into it with daily bias, looking at the high time frame. So I marked out previous day lows and highs. I just show on the daily. It's a bit easier. Oh, fucking hell, where is it? Whatever. Yeah, previous day low, previous day high. 4 hour high. This is the top of a 4 hour imbalance, and then these are the 4 hour highs just above. Looking into Asian session, we took out. Oh my god, yawning. Oh, jeez. Asian session took out this previous day high and 4 hour high, filling this imbalance as we go into London session. And yeah, that was kind of like my main manipulation, as well as London session technically taking out Asian session highs. From that, I was bearish, pretty much looking for this imbalance to be filled with Asia session lows to be filled as well, keeping in mind there was an imbalance here and here. Yeah, so first confluences, always really looking on the 15 minute. We then had 15-minute break structure quite early into London session, with this low being closed below with this candle, then shifting onto the 5-minute time frame. I also marked out equilibrium from this high to this low here. We then came up, wicking equilibrium, basically perfect, pretty much filling this imbalance, pushing down with a red candle, entering shorts onto there. Stop loss placed. Oh, it is yawning again. Stop loss placed 2 pips above the previous 15-minute high, as always, and then main take profit at these Asia session lows, as I already said. But in this case, this is where my main mistake was made. So I marked out this imbalance. Let me show you. I marked out this imbalance on the 1 hour time frame, and I tend to set my take profits at the middle, so where this dashed line is at the middle of the imbalance. In this case, for usually I use the 15-minute over however almost 4 years of my trading experience. I tend to find the center, so the middle, this dashed line of 15-minute imbalances, is the most predictable and most common way for a take profit to be filled. Like that's just where I like setting my take profits, right? In this case, I ended up marking the imbalance out on the 1 hour, and this is a perfect example of why I like setting it at the 15-minute, at the center of the 15-minute, because if I followed my rules, my take profit would have been hit before it coming up and hitting break even, which I did move my stop loss to break even as price entered into the imbalance. Yeah, so pretty much that was my main mistake. I wouldn't call that like me breaking the rules, as I didn't purposely break the rules. Oh my god. Oh. Jeez, I am proper tired. But yeah, I didn't purposely break the rules. It was just a silly mistake on my part. But it just goes to show that silly mistakes, they can build up, and they can, definitely minimize your profits. But other than that, quite happy with the trade. I ended up risking 2.5%, which is the highest amount I can risk. So I have 3 sets of risk management sort of strategy. I have 1.5, 2, and then 2.5. 2 is just the regular 15-minute breaker structure, 5-minute imbalance. But then 2.5 is with the equilibrium, and then 1.5 is pretty much if we are using continuation confluences on the 5-minute instead of entry confluences on the 5-minute. And it all varies. It isn't as simple as that. Obviously, I've got things about the strength of the bias with I've got loads of notes to go with it all, which you guys will probably come across as I post more on this channel. But yeah, apart from that, I'm not really bothered about not making any money on my final take profit or the Asia session lows being taken out, because as you can see, price was quite choppy throughout the day, and it seemed to me like we needed to take out some buy side liquidity before we moved lower. And in any case, pretty much my stop losses would have been taken out. I was looking for an entry at the start of a New York session, which I didn't end up taking because price just wasn't moving the way I wanted it to. We had, loads of large wicks like this, no real clear, move in price action. Almost this like the lower time frame price action was, kind of bullish, but then we hadn't manipulated any lows, and I didn't really believe we were going to go up to take out all these highs. I just didn't. I don't know. It was bad price action. I ended up staying away and ended up keeping my break even trade, which at the end of the day isn't something to be annoyed about. I, you know, kind of reinforced my 15-minute imbalance rule and learned a little bit. So, at least we didn't lose money. It's not all about making, it's about preventing our losses and keeping that win rate good. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something and enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.